Today I patched up a foundation. It's holding up an old garage. It's 70 some years old, and some of the cinder blocks were deteriorating and caving in. So I patched it up. I'm going to show you how I did it. Well, today we're looking at a foundation, and I really didn't get into it yet. I'm going to get into it. The owner called me up and worried sick about all this. I wouldn't say sick, let's say overly concerned. And we got a hole in here, you see that? It's those old cinder blocks. So we're not going to make a big deal out of it right here. It's been here like 70 some years, 75 years. All we're going to do is patch it up, and I'm going to show you why. Let's look at the inside of the garage. See concrete floors in Pennsylvania. This is all from the salt dripping off the vehicles. But there's nothing wrong with this garage floor. It's not tipped. It's not cracked. It's real stable. So we're not going to go crazy trying to redo something we don't have to do. We're just going to patch it up. Oh, we're going to do a little detectiving. D-E-T-E-C-T-V-I-N-G. Detectiving. Just going to dig down here a little bit. See what's going on. We're not going to have to change anything. We're not going to go back too far. Just get the loose stuff out like the dentist. What did I tell you? Ain't loose, we're not going to bother it. Very simple. That's it. As far as we're going down. Right there. Well, this looks like the worst one. Look at this. You know what this is? Ashes. Everybody in our area at one time had coal. So when they filled things in, it was usually with ashes. I'm dig this all out. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I'm just going to dig in here. That's solid. That's solid. See all the ashes? They filled everything with ashes. I'll knock that out of there. See what's under here. Yep, that's the ground. So you really don't want to disturb that too much. Because once you go disturbing stuff, it only gets worse. Fix what you gotta fix. That's it. So now, I'm just gonna wash this all off. Get that all off of there. So everything will stick. It's gotta be wet anyway. That's all. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of this thing. It's really nothing. I'm worried about it, but there's nothing here. I'm just gonna patch it up. Now here's my mix. This is masonry sand. It's going to be 1 tube of masonry sand, and we're using S mortar, which contains Portland. Because I'm a Portland guy, look at this. They got the new bags. See this? Portland. Type 1 or 2, don't matter. Because I'm a Portland guy, I like to use a lot of Portland. Throwing in the 1 bucket of masonry sand. Been laying around a while. 1 bucket of the mortar and the Portland combined. And one more sand, so that's 2 to 1. Then we're going to just mix it up dry so everything gets combined in there good. Just like that. And add the water. I'm going to make it a little bit stiff because we got to build with it. Mix it up. I'm getting close. See, it's stiff. I want it stiff because I got to build up with it. That's about it. See how stiff it is? That means it has less water in it, which is better. So we already wet it. And we're right down in there. Let's see what we got. You know what? Just to make the point, we're going to use what we got. What we want to do is pack it in there. Here's an old stone. I'll put that in there. Look at that. That's good. Maybe shim it up a little bit. Now they built all those castles out of stone, and they've been around for hundreds of years, even before they discovered America, and they're still there. Don't let anybody tell you you can't use stone. It's going to last longer than anything else. The idea is pack it in there. That's what we want to do, is just pack it in there. Don't make a big deal out of it. All we're doing is filling in. What else we got here? Here's another stone. Look at. I'd rather use stone than brick. It's going to last a lot longer. It's a nice piece of flagstone. See that? See how it's caving in a little bit? That's why we want to pack it. Put a brick in there. Pack it. It's better than any block. Pack it. See? What else we got? We got some brick here. Use that brick. What else we got? Mike, where do you get this brick from? Usually when I'm going to the, not the landfill, but when they're looking for clean fill, you see them knocking a lot of old chimneys down and everything. So that's what I use. See that? Doesn't matter. What else we got here? This will fit. Pack it up in there. As long as it's packed in there, it's not going to break loose behind there. You see what I mean? Alright, let's pack that in there. See if we can get another one in here. Look at that. Pack it farther in there. Make sure it gets up wherever I want it to get up against. I'm packing it. See that? Packing it. Just like that. Now, look at this. Nice piece of stone. Go in there and put that in there. There it is. That over here more. This one will go here. So, got that in there pretty good. I'm going to just take our tool and pack it in there. Just make sure you get it in all the way. You pack it in there, you're good. All you want to do, see that? It's all packed in there. You want to pack it in there. See that? Get it in there. Whatever you got to do. Stiff the cement. So now, I'm just going to wet it up good. Like I always tell you, if you don't wet it, it's not going to stick. Then we're just going to plaster it up with the stiff stuff. See that? Because I want it to kind of shrink up. As long as it's wet, it'll stick. I'm not worried about it. See? That's it. I got it in there. Leave a couple of these marks in here to make sure the next coat sticks, and we move on. So now we're into the bigger hole. The ashes in there. Same thing, we don't want to make no big deal out of this. Just fill it in. Keep it simple. Got brick here. What else I got? A brick gonna go in here. Go in here like that. Maybe. This one will go in like that. And then we're just gonna fill it in. Pack it in there, no big deal. Don't try to make a big deal out of it. As long as it works. What's going on here? That fit in there? Yep, that'll fit in there dandy. I'm gonna worry about it. Look at this, a stone. Put an old stone in there, just like that. And then pack it up. See? Pack it up. That's all we gotta do. Pack it up. So, get it up in there. Throw it up. TRO. Throw it up in there. And then pack it. See, that's up in there. It ain't going nowhere. So then, just throw a little water on it. Make sure it sticks to the brick and everything. You want to get a little crazier here. Just paint it with a little bit of the cement. See that? Sometimes that makes it stick better. That's all we want. And we're going to plaster it up. See that? Got that all in there. That's where it's going to stay. We'll do some of this to make sure the other stuff sticks. That's it. Okay, we got that all done. We filled that big hole in. We filled that one over there. Now we're just going to wet it and put a first coat of plaster on it. So we're just going to make sure that it's wet. Then put a coat of plaster over it. We won't have to worry about it no more. Then when we come back, put the final coat on it, and we'll be done. And then we get the witch's broom, you know that joke already, and we just scratch it. And that's ready for the final coat. Okay, I'm all done for today. I filled the big holes in and I put my scratch coat on it. Gonna let it shrink up and then I'll come back and put the second coat on. Well, we're back 3 days later and we looked at it and it all shrunk up. Because it was so cold out, it didn't really shrink that much, but just enough to where, see, almost nothing. The colder it is, a little shrink, couple shrink marks here. That's it. The colder it is, the longer it sits. As long as it don't freeze, it's going to get harder. Like I always tell you, put that second coat on, you gotta wet it first. Sometimes I like to wet it before I even mix the cement, and then I wet it again. I know the water sank into it. Today I'm not too worried about it because it's cold. I'm gonna get my cement. Remember I told you, you do that and it sticks. Do that, it sticks, see that? I'm gonna put a thin coat on it. All we wanna do is cover it up. And that's it. See, I'm filling in all those spaces I didn't get before. Like that. That's it, we just wanna put a thin coat on. I'm gonna give it the popcorn finish. The reason we're not giving it the combat finish is because it's, or the Swedish look, is because it's pretty flat. And that popcorn will hide it a little bit better. It's a nicer finish for a job like this. So we're gonna go with that. The reason I'm not using a plastering trowel is because I want to really get it in there for one thing, and I only got one hand to use when I'm bent over like this. So we got that in there. Make sure I got everything in, and then we're just gonna get, and then it's still wet, just gonna get the brush. See that? Get the brush. The old days we used to sponge it first, but I don't like that. I like to brush. Got the whole second coat on. So now we're going to take the same cement right there and we're going to soup it up. Throw some water in it and make a splash out of it. Because we're going to splash it. These old foundations, I don't want to do the combat finish or the Swedish look. I'm going to do what they call popcorn finish. So we got to get it soupy first. Maybe that's good enough, I don't know. See that, how soupy it got? Let's see. Let's see, so we stick it in there like this. First time do that. That's it. Just popcorn it in there because it's still in and out a little bit. By doing this and trying to make it perfect, I'm going to save the owner some money. And it's going to hide a lot of that in and out, which is what I want it to do, is hide that. So that's it. It's all done. I put that finish on it because I want to hide the discrepancies in that wall. And there's no use ripping it all out. It's ridiculous to do that. I'm going to talk about that job a little bit. It's a real simple fix. I wasn't going to get into ripping anything out because the garage floor didn't sink. If that garage floor sunk, then and the wall was pushed over, that's a whole different story. But in this case, just patch it up. The only video I got out is how I jack up a small porch or building, and that's where I actually had to jack up a porch and put the blocks back, but the porch was sunk. This wasn't sunk, everything was okay. So all I did was pack it back to where I could, and a little popcorn finish was to hide it. So I hope these videos help. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. Until I do another video.